All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. Today is Tuesday, April 27, 2021. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today. Let's go ahead and talk market, shall we? Before we begin, make sure to click bottom right-hand corner of your screen, little white icon. Turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos. As always, I just posted a video yesterday of my interview with Jose, who's a real estate agent in Arizona. We were talking about the market. Is it a bubble? What to expect in the future? Some of the pros and cons of owning a home. Some of the different procedures in buying a house. Kind of like frequently asked questions. Cash flow properties versus flipping properties. Really, really cool interview. Thank you, Jose, again for joining me. If you guys like those kind of interviews, maybe we could do more of them. I'll look into see maybe getting some other professionals who would want to have a quick chat with me and their field. The next interview I'm going to have is with Fabian, who is the head of FS Tax Service. He's based in California, and we're going to talk a little bit about tax benefits, some tax tips for traders and investors. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of questions that you guys want to know some answers to. So that's going to be a fun one. And we're going to go ahead and set that up. I'll post that on YouTube as well, and it should be a good one. All right, with that being said, let's talk about the markets. Dow futures down 28 points. NASDAQ futures up 20 points. S&P futures hit all-time highs overnight, right around midnight. Excuse me, at 41.92.50. Now we're 10 points off that. Russell 2000 futures are at 2,300, up 0.33%. Bitcoin futures 54,945. We'll go over that here in a second. Crude futures up about 1%. Gold futures up 0.2%. Silver futures 0.42%. And euro dollar is down about 3 pips. 120.83. Dollar yen 108.28, up 18 pips for my forex people. Dollar index is up about 0.08% at 90.87. The VIX is down 1.5% at 17.37. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's moving pre-market, and we'll go to the biggest stocks out there. MVIS, Microvision. I saw that yesterday. I saw some volume boost on the 35 calls for May, and they kind of moved up a little bit. I think they gained about 30% right when I first saw them. So keep an eye on MVIS. It could be a mover. It could be like GME, one of those big mover stocks. But MVIS, I saw a lot of volume on those 35 calls for May. So keep an eye on it. What else is out there that's moving? The Dow. Let's see. Apple's up 0.61%. I believe there was a headline on Apple. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys. I saw this morning, first thing. This was reported, I believe, by Nikkei. Yeah. Apple M2 chip in production should ship by July. So Apple's follow-up to M1 chip goes into mass production for the Mac. But then also, there was another headline. It said, EU to charge Apple with anti-competitive behavior this week. So, I mean, I guess no one really cares about that. That's where we are currently. Just got some news regarding to real estate. S&P Core Logic Case Shiller 20 City month over month. This is home prices up 1.17%. The estimate is 1.10%. The previous reading was 1.25%. So again, S&P Core Logic Case Shiller 20 City year over year gain in home prices 11.94% in gain for the month of February. Estimated was 11.80%. This is month over month, February to February, 2020 to 2021. And that's where we are. I went ahead and posted that on Twitter. Feel free to take a look. Back to the pre-markets. Let's see. Microsoft up 0.21%. They report today after the bell. Nike is also up 0.24%. Dow Chemical up 0.80%. Verizon was downgraded today, down 0.58%. So I wouldn't really trade as much Verizon. They really don't move much. General Electric also reported today. They're down 1%. Tesla reported yesterday, they're down 3%. I thought it was a solid quarter. If you want my breakdown on the Tesla quarter, take a look at the IGTV aftermarket recap. I still love Tesla at these levels. I wouldn't buy some now. I would probably wait to around 600, 620 to buy some on the cheap. It's my second largest position. I just want to give that disclaimer. I think Tesla still has a lot more room to go. They had a solid quarter, obviously. And again, was it something crazy? I think what we're getting is that we're getting this expectation that Tesla's going to move 10% and 9% after earnings. It just doesn't happen anymore. We don't have that much short interest on the stock anymore. So again, it's not the bait that a lot of short sellers want to go to. So again, you're not going to get that much volatility based on short squeezes or levered longs. Again, it's going to be a little more, consistent with current FANG names like Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, those names, where it's going to be kind of consistent, where it's going to move maybe 2 to 3, 4% at a time, but you're not going to get those huge swings the way Tesla used to maybe 2 or 3 years ago. American Airlines 0.36%, Carnival up 0.22%, UPS beat on earnings. They're up 9.32%. What a big gain for UPS. FedEx is up 3.35% as well in the space. Comcast 0.11%. Facebook reports tomorrow. They're up 0.42%. Micron nearly up 1%. And Skyworks is up 1%. Micron 1%. So a lot of these semiconductors are actually boosting. Amazon, there was a rumor on a stock split possibly announced on Thursday with earnings. They're up another nearly 1% today. So again, keep an eye on Amazon. It's very expensive if you're trading options. I do not on Amazon. It's just too damn expensive. Every time I've traded Amazon, I've gotten beat down. So I try to stay away from it. I just own shares. Real quick to crypto, and then we'll answer some questions. 54,899 on Bitcoin. Ethereum is closing in an all-time highs, which is right around 2,600. Ethereum is on fire. XRP is up as well, $1.40. Binance Coin 572. Cardano $1.30. Doge or Dogecoin right at 27 cents. I don't own any Dogecoin. Litecoin is up as well at 255. And you can see on the hour chart on Bitcoin, and we can go ahead and go to a daily chart. You can see that we're getting that nice big bounce back since yesterday on Bitcoin. Still need to retake 60,000. So again, watch for 60,000. If you bought the dip, awesome, congrats. And you should be pretty happy right now. All right, let's answer some questions. Good morning. Let's see. Mario's asking about NIO. Yeah, NIO, I had call options on NIO. We hit 40% yesterday. We had the 42 calls. I was talking about that yesterday. We caught them. It fell a little bit, then it bounced. Really great stock. Again, I own shares anyways. I had the 42s yesterday. Some of our members are still holding NIO. I think it was at 58% yesterday, last I checked. NIO is looking very, very solid. We did break the level I was looking for, which was 42.91, which was, I believe, the 50-day moving average on the daily. Here's why that's important. Now that that's broken, we're at 42.98. So 42.98 is probably right around here. We broke the 50. Really, the next level to take a look at, guys, is 45.41, which is a 78.6 Fibonacci level. If that can be targeted and broken, 57.20 is coming, and then we're gonna go and probably retest all-time highs on NEO. So again, that 50-day moving average was very, very important to break. We bounced off the 200 on the daily. I want to see this break of 45.41, and then you have the 100. Let's see if we break that. If that does break, 57.58, and then you go see you at 66. So again, if you're looking to target NEO to get to the top of this range on the Fibonacci level, maybe take a look at some 45 calls, buy some time, maybe a couple months out, see what's the volume out there, and then I would just ride it. If not, just own shares, because I own shares too. Let's see, thoughts on Beyond. Yeah, Beyond just had some news come out. I just retweeted it. Beyond Meat, new version of Beyond Burger arrives in grocery stores the week of May 3rd. Now, Beyond on the hourly has just been very, very much sideways. Not much going on. So if you traded Beyond options, you've been pretty much chopped up, unless you're scalping. So what do I want to do here? Right now, I would do nothing. There's nothing to do here. A break of 142, then we can talk, because on the daily, that would break above the 50 and the 100. Seems to be a very, very important level, 142, where all the major moving averages are almost converging there. So a 142 break, I would target 150 there, maybe 155. But until then, you don't do nothing with Beyond, because you're just going to pretty much throw money away on premium. Now, again, if you just want to buy shares, sure, then totally cool with that. But to trade options, no. Good morning. What are your thoughts on AA on Snap? And that's from Ray, is asking about American Airlines. Okay, so American Airlines is retaking above the 50-day moving average on the daily. That's a really good sign. So what's next for the stock? Let's look at the hourly. Again, above the 200 on the hourly. So again, a little more, obviously. What I would expect is 23 to be the resistance, the next resistance. But what I want to break before we get there, I would say around 22.5, then I would target 23. It looks very, very good. I think airlines are going to be bouncing back. This is why we're long Delta ahead of the economy reopening, and we still have a lot more to go. So I do like American Airlines. I don't own shares, I don't own calls, but it does look pretty decent. Let's take a look at Snap. Snap had a decent earnings report. Obviously, actually, they did beat on their earnings, nice boost, and then it came back down because they're offering bonds, so they need to raise some cash. Usually that's not a great sign for stocks, again, but with low interest rates out there, it's actually pretty prudent. Stock price be damned. If you want to do anything in regards to Snap, wait for around 61.40, break that, and then I could probably target 64. A break of 65 would probably get us to new highs, but again, I would probably wait around 61.40 to do anything with this name. Let me just cancel this alert because Snap hasn't really done much. Good morning. Apple hit 135. Thoughts of more upside potential? Yes, I do own Apple stock. I own Apple share. I own Apple calls. Right now, 135.71 is my alert. It broke above it pre-market, so it is right now about 30 cents off. I think we break it today. I think I close Apple today, my options, and probably leave a runner just for earnings, which is totally fine. But looking at Apple right now, the only calls I have are the 140s, and I own them for this week. I think we get them today. I think it breaks 135.71. That new M2 chip is a great catalyst. I think they actually knock it out of the park in the quarter. I think the stock will move up modestly. I don't expect a big boom. I think they'll talk about more stock buybacks and possibly raising the dividend since they have so much cash on hand. I don't think any big news will come out, but again, I think they do beat handily. And maybe it'll be up about maybe 1% if anything. Let's see. Thoughts on our 420 SPY calls? Not much left. Yeah, SPY did hit all-time highs overnight and yesterday. The question is, what do we need to do to get there? We need to break 418.50. Obviously, where we're going there, we hit all-time highs right around 230. And then we had a little bit of a drop. So again, it's all about seeing what we get the price action today. We should get a run up until the next run of earnings, which is today. For example, Microsoft, Pinterest, and what have you. But I think we get the SPY call today, if anything. Again, a nice big boost. Again, we're holding on to these calls. I think we get them. Space gap fill around 25 in the 4-hour on the daily. Let's see on space. Yeah, I see what you're saying on the hourly. There's a 26.74 gap. I see that. Let's see on the daily here. The gap is right there, 26.54. There is a gap to fill on the upside, 26.71. That's a lot to expect, so you probably need some longer dated calls for that. I wouldn't mess with space right here. Again, this still needs a little more room to the upside, so I wouldn't touch buying calls here. If you own shares, fine, but buying calls, no, I wouldn't. SPY Doji yesterday, what do you think about the downside? I don't think that ES has more downside past the 50-day moving average right now. Again, what is the catalyst to bring us down? Again, unless we get some headline regarding a mutation of COVID or more talk of tax hikes where the Senate and the Congress is agreeing to this capital gains tax, which nothing has even been announced in regards to even entering committee as a bill. Again, unless we get some kind of headlines there, I think we just get a melt up continuing to the upside. I think 4,200 is definitely going to be in focus. I think 4,200 hits this week. And then once it does, we should kind of saddle to the side throughout May. As its seasonality, May tends to be a little slower in regards to volume. We'll get a little bit of a slight pullback, in my opinion, and then we'll get back up. I would say 4,200 first, kind of sit sideways, come back down to around 4,125, and then we'll bounce back. We're going to get some kind of pullback here, guys. You're not going to get one green shot to the moon. Doesn't work that way. Thoughts on Square and Roku? Love both long-term. I own both long-term. Square is fine. Again, as Bitcoin continues to go, Square is going to go with it. It's above the 200-day on the hourly. The level I'm looking to break, possibly 268. And then you could probably target 280 calls. And I believe there was one other question, which was Roku. Roku is very expensive to trade. I own shares. Again, here 380 would be a nice level to break, and then you could target the 400s if you wanted to trade options on it. I would not. Carlos, aka Danda, what are your thoughts on Palantir? Palantir, a good friend of mine was asking me about. He asked me, what is one stock that has tremendous upside I'm willing to hold for at least 5 years? I gave him one answer. It's Palantir. I think Palantir has the best upside of all the, I guess, growthy names that I have. And I have Space, and I have a bunch of Neos, Teslas. I have all these names. Palantir, I'm probably have the highest conviction on long term. I think Palantir does break 26 soon. Year to date, if I had to pick a price target, I think it goes to 50. I really do. I think it goes to 50 by the end of the year. I think it has a lot of upside, and it's a great company long term. But you're gonna have to hold it. I mean, you're gonna have to go through the swings, and a lot of individuals don't have the patience for that. Once it breaks 28, we're off to the races, in my opinion. Back to this gap fill level of 31. Really, 28 is a huge level. The actual big level before was 22.50. Once we broke above that, now 28 is in focus. 28, guys, that's your level. Once we break 28, we're going to be off to the races, back above 32. We'll see you at 40. We'll see you at 45. That's my view on Palantir. No sweat. Any news on Amazon potential stock split? There's no news on it. Again, it's just rumors, which is always nice if you're a trader. Rumors are good. But at the end of the day, nothing has been announced. There's nothing really set in concrete. Thoughts on football? Yeah, I love football long term. I own shares. I bought the dip. I actually use football's app, which is the actual service. And looking at it here, the 200-day is in focus right on the daily. Anything below 1531, I'll be a buyer of the stock. I like the streaming play. I like that they're creating some of their channels. They don't have the cost associated like a Netflix does on a studio or a Disney. They're just a provider. I think football and Roku are that nice 1-2 combination for streaming. I mean, again, if you have a Netflix, that's fine. If you have a Disney, I love Disney too. But at least Disney has theme parks. Again, Netflix doesn't have that. Again, they just have streaming. Football and Roku, I think that's kind of your 1-2 punch in regards to the streaming slash gambling world, because they're going to integrate sports betting with it. That's what I like about it long term. And go ahead with my last question. Should we continue to hold the Tesla call? The Tesla call I did was a complete lotto. I got into 800 calls. It was a complete lotto. I want to see how we open up today. The last time I closed early was Wells Fargo, and everyone else made money because they held and I did not. So I'm not going to panic still. I want to see what happens with the price action today. Let's go to last one here. Ford. Paul is asking about Ford, and we'll end it here. Nothing against Ford here. Looking at the stock itself on the daily, I mean, yeah, it looks pretty good. It's above the 50-day. Again, I don't expect a ton of growth prospects from this company. Again, they have electric vehicles, yes. I think GM is a better play. I think Tesla is a way better play. Ford, I mean, you're going to get a dividend. They have cash in their balance sheet. If you own Ford, it's for the dividend. That means you're just going to get sideways action. Not much going on. So, I mean, right now you're sitting on the 50. That's all. I mean, if you break above 13, okay, sure. But other than that, pretty much Ford is like the Coca-Cola of the automakers. You just own it for the yield, guys. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your day. All the live YouTube, I think we usually do our live trading session on Tuesdays, but I'm not expecting tons of volume today. So I'm in between. Do we do it tomorrow when I'm expecting a lot more volume, especially ahead of more earnings, or do we do it today? So I'm going to go ahead and ask the guys real quick, and we'll go from there. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. Cheers.